Hi guys, so this is second session for Boot and Microservices. So today we need to understand what is Spring. First we need to understand what is Spring. So before going to Spring Boot, first we need to understand what is Spring, right? So here we can say Spring, it is a framework. Spring is a framework to develop Java based applications. If you want to develop a application by using Java, then in the industry, people are using Spring framework. Spring is called as a framework which is used to develop Java based applications. Now, here we need to understand what is a framework, why Spring is called as a framework. So to understand the framework, first let me tell you what is a programming language. What is a programming language and what is technology. Java is a programming language. Java is a programming language. What is a programming language? Then after programming languages, people are using technologies. Servlet is a technology. JSP is a technology. JDBC is a technology. So what is the difference between programming language and technology? After technologies, people are using framework. What is framework? What is the difference between programming language, technology, and framework? Java comes under programming language. Servlets, JSPs comes under technologies. Spring, Hibernate, SpringBoot comes under framework. So in the Java itself, there are so many concepts are available. So if you want to learn the Java, or if you want to work with the Java, then you need to learn core Java. You need to learn core Java. Then after core Java, you are going to learn advanced Java. Then you are going to learn Hibernate. Hibernate will be available. Then after Spring will be available. Okay. Then after Spring Boot will be available. Spring Boot will be available. Then you are going to learn microservices. Microservices. Then you are going to learn some real-time tools. As part of the project development, some tools will be used like Maven, GitHub, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernates. There are so many tools available. After learning these tools, then you are going to learn a project development like this. So you have to prepare the course in this way. First, you need to learn core Java, then advanced Java, then Hibernate, then Spring, then Spring Boot, then microservices, then real-time tools. Then you need to learn the project development. So here, core Java is called as a language. Java, basic Java. So Java is called as a language. In the advanced Java, we are going to learn the servlets and JSP. Those are called as technologies. And we are having Hibernate, Spring, and Spring Boot. Spring Boot, Hibernate, they are comes under framework. So now my question is, what is the difference between programming language, technology, and framework? Anyone knows that answer? What is programming language? What is the technology? And what is framework? What is programming language? What is the technology? And what is framework? Come on. First of all, what is programming language? Language is a medium to communicate. Language is a medium to communicate. I can say language is a mediator to communicate. Now, I'm one human being, you are one human being. We are communicating by using some language called English. So we are communicating by using English. Similarly, if a person want to communicate with the computer, then we need computer language. Human languages are available and computer languages are available. If two persons want to communicate, then we are going to use human language. If a person wants to communicate with a computer, then we need to go for computer language. So language is a medium to communicate. Now, so we are having two types of languages, guys. First one is human languages and second one is programming languages. Human languages available, programming languages available. In the human languages, you can see English, Hindi, Telugu, etc. Okay, English, Hindi, Telugu, these are called as human languages. Coming to programming languages, we are having C language, C++ available, Java, Python, C#. These are called as programming languages. Now, what is the purpose of programming languages? Why we need to learn a programming languages? What is the purpose of programming languages? Programming languages are used to communicate with the computer. Are used to communicate with the computer. I want to give some task to the computer. Computers cannot understand the human language. Computer don't know what is English, what is Hindi, what is Telugu. Computers knows only binary language. Okay. So to communicate with the computers, we are going to use programming languages. Every programming language will contain set of rules and syntaxes. Now, if you go for C language, you need to write a C program with hash include std.h, hash include conio.h, some header files will be available, main function will be available, scanf, printf, like that some syntaxes will be available when you go for the C language. If you go for Java, it will start with import statement, class will be available, variables will be available, methods will be available. Every programming language contains set of syntaxes and rules. So every programming language contains a set of syntaxes and rules. Using programming languages, we can develop software applications. What is the main purpose of this language? Language is used to communicate with the computer. When you go for any language, every language contains a set of syntaxes and rules. So if you want to develop a project by using that particular language, you need to follow the rules and regulations of the language. Now, we want to become a software engineer. We want to become a developer to develop the software application. If you want to develop any software application, you should know one language. By using that language, we can develop software application. That software application we will execute inside a computer. We want to communicate with the computer. For that, we will use a language. By using that language, we can develop software application. Now, here we are learning core Java, that is Java. Java comes under programming language. So here, Java is a programming language. Now, Java is a programming language. Now, by using this Java, we can develop software applications. If you want to develop a software application by using Java, then you need to follow the syntaxes of the Java. You need to follow the rules of the Java. So if you want to develop any application, first you need to learn a language. Java is called as a programming language. Okay. When the Java is already available to develop a software application, then why servlets came into picture? Why JSP came into picture? Now, these are called as software technologies. Okay. So software programming languages are available. After programming languages, software technologies came into picture. Software technologies came into picture. Now, technologies are developed based on programming language. Okay. Software technologies are available. These software technologies developed based on programming languages. The best example for technology, that is servlets, is a technology. Okay. JSP is a technology. So how they developed the servlets and JSP? Servlets developed by using Java. JSP also developed by using Java. Java is one language. By using that language, you can develop the application. And by using language, Sun Microsystem developed servlets technology by using Java. Sun Microsystem developed JSP by using Java. Now, when the Java is already available, why Java technologies came into picture? Technologies are used to develop software applications. Programming language also used to develop software application. Software technology is also used to develop software application. Then why technologies came into picture? When the Java is already available, why servlet technology came into picture? Why JSP came into picture? Technologies are used to develop software applications easily. Technologies are used to develop varieties of application. It are used to develop different types of applications. Different types of applications. By using core Java, you can develop only standalone application. JDK is available. Java language is available in the form of JDK. By using JDK, we can develop only standalone application. What is the meaning of standalone application? What is the meaning of standalone application? Which can run only in one system. By using Java, we can develop a standalone application which will run in only one system. Now, Sun Microsystem people thought that by using Java, not only standalone application, we should develop web applications also, because people are available in different places. They want to use our application, web application. To develop web applications, Sun Microsystem introduced servlets and JSP. These are called as software technologies. So by using programming language, we can develop a standalone application. By using software technology, we can develop different types of applications, like web applications we are going to develop. Without Java, there is no servlet, there is no JSP. These servlets and JSPs are called as software technologies. Software technologies are developed based on programming languages only. Okay, programming language available, software technology is available. Programming language contains the fundamentals of the language. What are the syntaxes? What are the rules available? How to write a program? How to compile the program? How to run the program? All those things you are going to learn in the programming language, right? So once you learn programming language, then you are going to learn a technology which is developed by using that programming language, right? So Java people will learn servlets, which is developed based on the Java. By using that servlet, we can develop web application. By using JSP, we can develop web application. Now, here, after these technologies came into picture, people started developing applications. People started developing applications. When people started developing applications by using servlets, JDBC, JSP technologies we are using to develop the application. But here, whenever you develop a application by using servlet, JDBC, JSP, there are some challenges available. There are some problems available with this servlet, JSP and JDBC. What are those problems? If you see here, I'm taking one DAO class. We already know what is a DAO, which is used to communicate with the database table. If you see here what I am doing, I'm getting the connection. I'm creating prepared statement. I'm executing my query. Then I am getting the results in the form of result set. Then I am getting the data from the result set. I'm setting the data to DTO object. DTO object I am adding to the collection. I'm returning to the collection. So now here I want to execute one query. To execute one query, I need to get the connection. I need to create the statement. I need to execute the query. I need to get the data from result set. I need to convert the result set into DTO. The DTO I need to convert into collection object. So total, how many steps are there? 6 steps are available. These are 6 steps I am writing in one method. Now, if I go for second method, again, what is there? This is one method. In this one method, 6 steps I'm doing. I'm getting the connection from the database. I'm creating the statement. I'm executing my query. I'm getting the data from the result set. I'm converting the result set to the DTO. DTO object I'm adding to the collection. I'm returning the collection. This is in one method. If I go for second method, is there anything different? Only query is different. What about the remaining steps? Get the connection, create the statement, execute the query, get the data, set to the DTO, add the DTO to the collection. Now if I go for the third method, query is different. Get the connection, create the statement, execute the query, process the data. So here, if you go for this JDBC, you need to write same lines of code again and again. You need to write the boilerplate code. You need to write the duplicate code in the project when you develop a project by using technologies like this. And let me go for servlet. If you go for the servlet, if you see what we are doing here, we are capturing the form data. In my application, there are 30 forms available. In my application, there are 30 forms available. Login form, registration form, forgot password, update password, and search form is available. There are 30 forms available. Whenever you submit the form data will go to servlet automatically, or we need to write the logic to capture form data. We need to write the logic to capture the form data. Request.get parameter, request.get parameter, request.get parameter. I need to capture the form data. My form contains 20 fields. Then my form contains 20 fields. Then what I need to do? I need to write the 20 lines of code to capture that form data. After capturing the form data, again what we need to do? Set the data to DTO object. Set the data to DTO object. So here, if you go for servlet or if you go for JDBC, the problem is you need to write boilerplate code. What is the meaning of a boilerplate code? Boilerplate code means duplicate code we need to write in multiple places. Okay. Now, if there is a login form, I need to capture login form data. If there is a registration form, I need to capture registration form data. Forgot password, capture the form data. Search form is available, capture the form data. You capture the form data, you convert that form data to DTO object. Then you transfer the data from the servlet to DAO. Then what the DAO will do? It has to get the connection. It has to execute the query. It has to get the results from the result set, convert the result set data into DTO object. That means we are writing same logic again and again in the project. Connection is common for every project. Every project requires connection. Every project want to get the data from result set. Every project should capture the data from the form. Every project should have form validation logic. Every project should convert that form data into DTO object, DTO into normal presentation layer. The common logics will be available in every project. Getting the connection, executing the query, process the result. Is it only my project requirement or it is common for everybody? Getting the connection, executing the query, process the result. Is it a common requirement or it is only my project requirement? It is common requirement. Tomorrow, you people will get the job. 100 people will go to 100 companies, 100 projects. You will involve in the project development. In your project, you will write the logic to get the connection. In my project, I will write the logic to get the connection. Everybody should write the logic to get the connection from the database to communicate. And in every project, forms will be available. You need to write the logic to capture form data, validate the data, and set the data to DTO object and pass the DTO object from one method to another method. So what mistake we are doing here? We are writing same code again and again in every project. We are writing same code again and again in every project. Are you able to follow me? So here, programming language is available. Programming languages are used to communicate with the computer. By using programming languages, we can develop software application. Every programming language contains set of syntaxes and set of rules will be available. We already learnt one language called Java. By using only Java, you can develop standalone application. Okay. Now we want to develop web applications also by using Java. To develop web applications also by using Java, we are using some Java technologies. Servlet is one Java technology. JSP is one Java technology. By using technologies, we can develop software application. Different types of applications we can develop by using technologies. How these technologies are developed? These technologies are developed by using programming language only. Java is available. By using Java, servlets developed. By using Java, JSP developed. By using those Java technologies, we can develop a project. We can develop a web application. But there is a problem when you develop the application by using these technologies. What is the problem we are facing? We need to write the duplicate code in the project. If you see 10 projects developed by servlets, JDBC, JSP, in 10 projects, some common logics will be available. So getting the connection, executing the query, get the data from the result set, capture the data from the form, validate the form data, convert that form data to DTO object. These logics are common in every project. We need to write so many lines of code in the project in order to develop. In order to develop the project by using technology, we need to develop so many lines of code. And those lines also duplicate lines. So many duplicate lines of code will be available. That's where in the industry, people identified the problems with the technologies. People identified the problems with the technologies. Okay, to overcome, we need to write the boilerplate code. We need to write duplicate code in project. We need to write duplicate in project at several places. Okay, so what are the examples for the duplicate code? Getting the connection. The first example is in every method, we need to get the connection. Okay, in every method, we need to create statement. Once you get the connection, then we need to create the statement. After that, execute query. Then after, process results. Then after, process results. Then after, capture form data. We need to capture form data and we need to validate form data. We need to validate form data. Then we need to convert to form data to DTO object. Convert form data to DTO object. These are common logics for every project. These are common logics for every project. I should write the logic in my project. You should write the same logic in your project. Everybody should write the same logic in your project. Lot of duplicate code we are going to write. Same code we are writing again and again in the every project. The duplicate code is called as boilerplate code. Boilerplate code, nothing but same code we are writing at multiple places to develop the project. If you write more lines of code, more time it is going to take. You need to spend more time to develop your project. If you write more lines of code, there is a chance of getting more problems. There is a chance of getting more problems. If I write 5 lines of code, less number of problems will be available. If I write 100 lines of code, the number of exceptions, the number of issues are going to increase and it is going to take more time to develop the project. Now, to overcome the problems with the technologies, industry introduced a concept called frameworks. Okay, we can develop a project by using servlet, JDBC, JSP technologies. But if you develop the project by using servlets, JDBC and JSP, you need to write so many lines of code to develop the project. That code is also duplicate. The code I am writing in my project, same code will be available in every project also. Every developer should write same piece of code again and again in the project. So it is going to take more time. That is the first problem. Then second problem, the number of lines of code is increasing. Maintenance will become difficult. And the third problem, as more lines of code is coming, more exceptions also can come. If your code is increased, then maintenance problems will come. Then if any mistake you have done, identifying the problem is difficult. There is a chance of getting so many exceptions if you write so many lines of code. If I have 10 lines, I can easily understand where is the problem. If I have 1,000 lines, if I have 10 lines of code in my project, Easily I can understand where is the problem. If I have 1,000 lines in the project, then it is difficult to understand where is the problem. Okay, so there are some problems available with the technologies, right? If you develop a project by using servlets, JSP, JDBC, there are some challenges available. What are the challenges we have with the servlet, JDBC, JSP? First one is duplicate code. We need to write duplicate code. Duplicate code is called as boilerplate code. We need to write the duplicate code here. Second one, what is the second one? More lines of code. More lines of code you need to write. When more lines of code is available, chances are there more exceptions. Okay, so many exceptions can occur. And the third problem is the maintenance. The project maintenance will become very difficult. Okay, so by using software technology like servlet JSP, you can develop a project, but you need to write a lot of duplicate code. You need to write more lines of code. Then you will get more exceptions. Then maintaining that project will become very, very difficult. Are you able to understand? So what is the language and what is the technology? What is language and what is the technology, guys? Language is a mediator to communicate with the computer. So if you want to communicate with a computer, one language is required. So that language is called programming language. There are so many programming languages available in the market: Java, Python, PHP, JavaScript, C, C++, like that. By using those languages, we can develop the project. By using C, you can develop standalone application. By using Python, you can develop standalone application. By using Java, you can develop standalone application. Every language will contain set of rules, set of syntaxes will be available. We need to follow those rules and syntaxes in order to develop that project. But by using only Java, what we can develop? Can I develop any type of application? No, we can develop only standalone application. By using C#, we can develop only desktop application. By using Python, you can develop desktop application. By using Java, you can develop desktop application. Now, by using this Java, not only desktop, I want to develop web applications also. If you want to develop web application, only Java is not sufficient. We need to go for Java-based technologies. Java-based technologies are required. Java is a programming language. By using that programming language, we can develop standalone application. Now I want to develop a web application by using Java. To develop a web application by using Java, we need to go for Java-based technologies. What is a technology? Technology is a software which is developed by using programming language. By using Java, they developed servlet technology. By using Java, they developed JSP technology. By using those technologies, we can develop web applications. Okay, fine. I can develop a web application by using Java-based technologies. Okay, but what is the problem? If I go for technologies to develop the project, what is the problem? If I go for technologies to develop the project, come on. So if you go for JDBC, you need to get the connection. You need to create the statement. You need to execute the query. You need to process the results. You need to close the connection. So this is common for every method. So I have 100 tables. I will create 100 DAO classes. Hello, mister. What are you doing? Concentrate. You already came late and you are doing something in the book. Look at this, right? So I have 100 tables in my project. For every table, I will create one DAO. In every DAO, there are 10 methods available. Now, you understand. So in my project, there are 100 database tables available. For every database table, we are going to create one DAO class. To communicate with the table, one DAO class will be available. 100 DAO classes are available. In every DAO, we have 10 methods. Insert the data, update the data, retrieve the data, delete the data, retrieve by using ID, retrieve all the records, retrieve records based on multiple IDs, retrieve the records based on the filters, like that. In every DAO, we have 10 methods. Then what will happen? 100 into 10, how many methods we are going to write in the DAOs? 1000 methods we are going to write in the project. My project is having 100 database tables. For every database table, one DAO class will be available. For every DAO, I'm writing 10 methods. 100 into 10, 1000 methods will be available. Now, this logic, I need to write at 1000 places. I need to write the logic get connection, get connection, get connection, get connection 1000 times in the project. I need to create the statement. 1000 times I need to create the statement. At 1000 places, I should write the logic to create the statement. I want to execute my query. So statement.execute update, statement.execute query. At 1000 places, I have to do that. Okay. Now, in my project, I am having 30 forms. Every form is having 10 fields. My project having 30 forms. Every form is having 10 fields. Then what I need to do? 30 servlets will be available. In 30 servlets, I need to write request.get parameter, request.get parameter, request.get parameter. So I need to write that logic at 30 places to capture the form data. After capturing the form data, I need to convert into DTO object. So is it a unique code or it is a duplicate code? Now, capturing the form data is only my project requirement or it is a universal requirement? So capturing the form data is a universal requirement. In every project, form will be available. In every project, form will be available. Every form will contain some fields. We need to capture the data from the form. We need to convert that form data into object. So multiple forms, multiple places, you need to write the same logic to capture form data. So here we are going to write lot of duplicate code in the project. That duplicate code is called as boilerplate code. And we need to write more lines of code in the project. Now you see 1000 methods available. At 1000 places, I should write these logics. At 1000 places, I need to write these logics. If I have 30 forms, at 30 places, I need to write the same logic. Okay, more lines of code. If your lines of code is increased, then exceptions also will increase. If you write more lines of code, then there is a chance of getting more exceptions. If project lines of code is increasing, then maintenance also will increase. So this is the problem. Okay. So now when you go for a project, two types of logics will be available. In a project, two types of logics will be available. The first one is called common logics. The second one is called business logics. Okay. If you go for every project, you need to focus on two things now. One is common logics you have to develop and business logic you have to develop. Your project is based on banking. My project is based on healthcare. Okay. Now assume that two people are available. She is working on banking application. I'm working on healthcare application. In my project, I need to get the connection. I need to create the statement. I need to execute the query. I need to process the result. These are common in her project also. In the banking application also, we need to get the connection, create the statement, execute the query, process the result. So my project is based on healthcare. Her project is based on banking. In these two projects, common logics are available. Connections, form data, form validation, converting form data to object. This is common for my project and her project also. These are common logics. Apart from that, business logic will be available. In my project, I will deal with doctor's data. I will deal with patient's data. I will deal with the laboratory, appointment booking, okay, and scanning charges, medicine charges, what medicines are available, okay, that OP booking with the doctor, appointment booking for the doctor, that business logic will be available in my project. In her project, net banking, debit card payment, credit card payment, loan payments will be available, mobile banking will be available. So every project will have some business logic and every project will have some common logics. Now, if you go for a project development, you need to work on common logics development and you need to work on business logics development also. Now, we are working on 10 different projects. One is banking, one is healthcare, one is e-commerce, one is education, retail industry, insurance industry is available. So if you are working on 10 different projects, so business logics will be different for every project and every project will have some common logics also. Are you able to follow me? What is the meaning of business logic and common logic? Business logic is specific to every project. If it is a banking application, credit card operation, debit card operation, net banking operation, loan payments, loan recovery, these kind of functionalities will be available. That is bank application business logic. If I go for e-commerce application, checking the products, adding the products to the cart, check out the products, purchase the products, place the order, track the order, cancel the order, check the cart. These are functionalities specific to e-commerce application. If you go for educational institute application, check the course details, enroll for the course, attend the demos, pay the fees payment, check the class notes, check the videos, talk to trainer, doubts clarification. These kind of functionalities will be available. If you go for healthcare application, appointment booking, doctor consultation, okay, OPs and medicine history, all test, lab test, that information will be available. So every application will have some business logic. And for all these three applications, what is common? Capturing the form data, convert the data to object, get the connection, create the statement, execute query, close the connection, process the results. These are common. So if you go for project development, two types of logics will be available. First one is common logic. Second one is business logic. Now, if you develop a project by using technology, then you need to write common logics code and you need to write business logics code also. You need to write a common logics development and you need to implement business logics also in the project. Okay. Now, common logics, assume that 3000 lines are common logics and the remaining 10,000 lines are business logic. Okay. Now, in order to develop a project, you need to implement common logics in the project and you need to implement business logics in the project. Then it is going to take more time to complete the development because you need to work on the common logics part and you need to work on the business logics part also. Then it is going to take more time to complete the development. It will take more time to test the code. There is a chance of getting more exceptions also. And it is difficult to maintain the projects also. Are you guys clear? So what is a technology? Why we need a technology? What are the challenges with the technology? Technology is developed based on the programming language only. Why we are going for technologies? By using technologies, we can develop several types of applications, right? So if you go for the technology, you need to work on common logic development and you need to work on business logic development also. Work on the common logic development and work on the business logic development also. If I work on common logic development and business logic development, what is the problem? What is the problem, guys? What are the challenges available? What are the challenges available with the technologies? Duplicate code. We need to write common logics in every project and the number of lines of code will increase in the project. When the code is increased, exceptions also will increase. Then the project maintenance will become difficult. Project maintenance will become difficult. Are you guys clear with my point? Very good. Very good. Now, how to overcome these problems? How to complete the project quickly? How to complete the project with less number of lines of code? That's where frameworks came into picture. So earlier, 10 years back, 15 years back, people used to develop the project by using technologies. But now in the industry, people are not developing complete project by using technology. The reason, everybody should write the duplicate code. So many lines of code we need to develop. More number of exceptions can occur. The maintenance of the project will become very, very, very difficult. Now, to overcome these challenges, frameworks came into picture. To overcome these challenges, frameworks came into picture. Sir, what is a framework? What is framework? It is a piece of software. It is piece of software. We can say it is semi-developed software. Framework is a piece of software. We can say framework is a semi-developed software. Framework is a semi-developed software. Frameworks provides Framework provides common logics. Frameworks provides common logics required for application development. Now, I want to develop my application. In my application, common logic will be available. Business logic will be available. Business logic will change from project to project, but common logics are common for every project. Now, what people are telling is, boss, if you want to develop a project, you focus only on the business logic development. You focus on how to transfer money from one account to another account, how to do the debit card payment, how to do the net banking, how to do the mobile banking, how to apply for loan. You focus only on your business logic. Whatever common logics are required for your project, getting the connections, getting the form data, that you no need to write the code, we will provide the code for you. We will give you ready-made code. You use our ready-made code for the common logics. You focus only on the business logic for the development. That's where frameworks became very popular in the market. Now, people are going to develop the project by using framework. What is the benefit I'm going to get if I develop a project by using framework? I no need to write common logics. I no need to write duplicate code in the project. Common logic is already available in the framework. Use that framework and you write business logic, then your project will be ready. With less number of lines of code, we can complete the project. Quickly, we can complete the project development. Duplicate code will not be available in the project. That's why frameworks are very, very, very famous in the market. Can you tell me what is a framework? Can you tell me what is framework? Framework is a piece of software. We can say framework is a semi-developed software. Framework is a semi-developed software. What is the meaning of semi-developed software? What is the meaning of semi-developed software? That it contains some logic already. Already some code is available in the framework. You take that framework, you use in the project. Common logic will given by the framework. You write only business logic, then your project will be ready. Framework is a semi-developed software. Frameworks provides common logics required for application development. Okay, using frameworks, we can develop applications quickly. We can develop applications quickly. If we are using framework, then we no need to focus on the common logic. Common logic will given by them. We need to focus only on the business logic development. If we are using frameworks, then we need to focus only on business logics. We need to focus only on the business logics. What are the advantages? No duplicate code. So I no need to write the common logic because common logic will given by framework. I will focus only on the business logic. No duplicate code. Faster development. Why development will be faster? Do I need to write everything in my project? No. Some code will be given by the framework. Remaining code I will write and I will make my application ready. So no duplicate code, faster development. The application development will be faster. Then less lines of code. Because common logic is completely removed. The framework will provide the common logic. You focus only on the business logic. less lines of code will be available, then less number of exceptions, less number of bugs. If the lines of code is reduced, then bugs also going to reduce. Less number of bugs will be available. Then my project maintenance also will become very easy. My project maintenance will become very easy. Now, if you see in our DAO class, I want to retrieve the records with a filter. I want to retrieve the records with ID. I want to insert the record. Total, how many lines of code is available? How many lines of code is available in this class now? 115 lines of code is available because we want to retrieve the records from the table by using JDBC. For that, I have written some methods. There are 100+ lines of code is available. Tomorrow, when I use a framework, this DAO class will contain 5 to 6 lines only. DAO class will contain only 5 to 6 lines. What about the remaining 100 lines of code? Do I need to write that? Framework will provide that. Framework will provide that. Let me show you. Let me show you. In my GitHub, already I uploaded some examples. I will show you in my GitHub. When I go for framework, what is the benefit we are going to get? Ashok IT GitHub. Okay. So in my GitHub, I uploaded so many projects here, guys. So now, 1 minute. Yeah. So what is this? REST H2 database application. It is responsible to communicate with the database. Now, inside this application, code is available. What is this? Product repository, which is responsible to communicate with the product table, create the record, update the record, delete the record, retrieve the record. Now you see how many lines of code is available. Forget about the important packages. How many lines of code is available? 1 line of code is available. Whatever the 100 lines of code you are writing in the DAO class, what this 100 lines of code is doing, this 100 lines of code is equal to this 1 line. The 100 lines of code is equal to 1 line. What about connection? What about statement? What about operation? What about result set? Do I need to do that? Who will do that? Who will do that? Framework will do that. Now tell me, will anybody develop a project by using JDBC? Anybody will develop a project by using servlet? Why? If I use the JDBC, 100 lines of code we are writing just to perform 3 operations. Insert the product record, retrieve product with ID, retrieve product with name or price. Okay. If I want to perform just 3 operations, I am writing 100 lines of code in the DAO. Tomorrow, when you come to Spring Data JPA, if you want to perform CRUD operations in the project, then this 1 line of code is sufficient. This 1 line of code will perform insertion, updation, deletion, retrieval, whatever you want to do with the database table, everything you can perform with that single line of code. That is the power of framework. That is the power of framework. Now, tell me, without framework, can you develop a project? You can, but problem. What is the problem? So many lines of code you need to write. Lot of time it is going to take. Lot of bugs can occur. The development will become very lengthy. It is going to take more time to develop the project. So that's why in the industry, people are using frameworks to develop the project. Very soon, within 2 to 3 weeks of time, we are going to perform database operations by using 1 line of code. Very soon, within 2 to 3 weeks of time, with 1 line of code, we can perform all the CRUD operations with the database table. Now here, one DAO class contains 100 lines of code. Suppose if I have 100 DAOs, 100 into 100, what happens? 10,000 lines of code you need to write for 100 DAOs. Now, if I use framework, 100 DAOs, 100 lines of code will be available. With the 100 lines, you can perform database operations in your project if you use a framework. If you don't use framework, 10,000 lines of code you need to write in the project. Where is 100? Where is 10,000? You understand the difference? Now tell me, what is a framework? Why we need to go for framework? Framework is a semi-developed software which will provide common logics required for applications development. Now, in my project, in your project, in her project, their project, everybody should communicate with the database. Now, do we need to write the logic for connection, statement, result set, all that stuff? No. What we do? Simply, we are going to write one line of code. The remaining logic, connection, driver, connection, statement, executing the query, getting the results, everything will be taken care by framework only. With a less number of lines of code, we can complete our project easily. No duplicate code will be available. Duplicate code will not be available. Writing 100 lines, how much time it will take? Now, in my project, guys, there are 100 tables are available. Okay, 100 tables. Then I'm going to create 100 DAO classes. Every DAO 100 lines. In every DAO 100 lines. 100 multiplied by 100. Then what will happen? 10,000 lines of code we need to write. If you use technology, if you use only Java technology to develop the project, for database operations, how many lines of code? 10,000 lines of code. If I use a framework, in every DAO, how much code we need to write? One line code. How much time it will take? Hardly within 1 hour, you can complete a database logic for your project. Within 1 hour, for your project, you can complete the database logic if you go for a framework. If you don't use framework to write 10,000 lines, maybe 1 week of time, maybe 10 days of time it is going to take. 10 days of work we can complete in 1 hour. 10 days of work we can complete in 1 hour. That is called framework. So why we are able to complete, how we are able to complete the code within 1 hour? How we are able to complete within 1 hour? Common logics are provided by frameworks. You focus only on the business logic. So writing 10,000 lines. If you write 10,000 lines of code, how many bugs can come? There is a chance of getting the problems or not. You are writing the 10,000 lines. So there is no guarantee your 10,000 lines will be correct. There is a chance of getting some problem in the 10,000 lines of code. It will take more time to develop. It will take more time to test. It will take more time to maintain. There is a chance of getting more problems in your 10,000 lines of code. Now, you develop a project by using technology, by writing 10,000 lines of code. I will develop a project by using framework, by writing 100 lines of code. My task will be completed in 1 hour. My testing will be completed in 1 hour. My total project will be completed in 1 week. But for you, it will take more amount of time to write the code. More number of bugs can come. More maintenance will be available for the project. You will do less work in the more time, but I will do more work in the less time. Now tell me, so if you want to develop a project in the industry, only technology is sufficient? No. That is the reason I told you, for the freshers also, SpringBoot knowledge is required. Now, tomorrow if you go for interview, can you say that I don't know framework, I'm very good in JDBC and servlet, I will develop the project by using servlet? Will they accept it? Will they accept it? They will not accept. Why they will not accept? Why they will not accept in the industry? You need to develop the projects by using frameworks. So what is framework? What is the advantage with the framework? What is the framework? What is the advantage with the framework? Framework is a semi-developed software. Why I'm saying as a semi-developed software? What is the meaning of semi-developed software? What is the meaning of semi-developed software? Framework provides common logics required for the application development. You focus only on the business logic of the application. Common logics will be provided by the framework only. Are you guys clear? Right. Now we understood what is framework. Now there are so many frameworks available in the market. Initially, there was a framework called Struts framework available. Then later, Hibernate framework came into picture. Then later, JSF framework came into picture. Then Spring framework came into picture. JSF framework available and Spring framework is available. All these frameworks got outdated in the market. Currently, we are working with which framework? Currently, we are working with the Spring framework. The extension for the Spring framework is SpringBoot. Okay, Spring framework came into picture in the year of 2003 or 2004. So earlier, people developed projects by using Spring framework. In 2014, 2015, the extension for the Spring framework introduced into the market, that is called SpringBoot. That is called SpringBoot, which is #1 framework in the market, which does not have any competitor till today. Which does not have any competitor till today to develop the application. Now, whatever the code you are seeing, that code we developed by using SpringBoot with data JPA. With one line of code, you can perform any operation with the database. You no need to write the logic. The data JPA is going to take care of that logic. Common logics will be provided by the framework. You focus only on the business logic. Are you able to follow this? Framework is something like a Maggie. Suppose if you want to prepare a biryani, how much time it will take? You need to prepare each and everything. That will take 2 to 3 hours of time to cook a biryani. So biryani preparation is like developing a project with technology. If you want to prepare a biryani at your home, can you complete in 5 minutes? No. Why? You need to do a lot of things. You need to do a lot of things to prepare a biryani. That is something like developing a project by using technology. Now, Maggie, how much time? 5 minutes. Why 5 minutes? Everything is already there in the packet. You just give the finishing touch so that your food will be ready. So developing a project with the framework is like working with Maggie. So very quickly you can develop your project because everything is already available. Common logics are already available. You just give the finishing touch, then your project will be ready. Framework is a semi-developed software which will provide common logics required for the project development. You focus only on the business logic of your project. So there are so many frameworks available in the market like Struts framework, Hibernate framework, JSF framework, Spring framework. Now what is this SpringBoot? SpringBoot is the child of the Spring. SpringBoot is child of the Spring. Whatever the things are there in the Spring, everything we can access in the SpringBoot also. SpringBoot is extension for the Spring framework. SpringBoot is extension for the Spring framework. Currently in the market, people are developing the projects by using SpringBoot. This SpringBoot is developed based on Spring framework. Okay. Now, initially, Java language came into picture. Java language came into picture, that is called JSE. By using this JSE, Sun Microsystem developed JEE, Java Technologies, servlet JSP part of JEE. By using this JEE, they developed Spring framework. Spring not from Sun Microsystem. Spring is a third-party framework. By using Spring, they developed SpringBoot. Currently, we are working with SpringBoot. Okay. When you join for Java course, full stack, you are there. You learned programming language. By using this programming language, you learned JEE, how to develop a web application. Currently, you are at this place. From this place, you need to move to this place to understand what is application development with the framework. Once you develop a application with the Spring framework, with that knowledge, then we will move to SpringBoot. Industry is at this place. Industry is working on SpringBoot. The companies are developing the projects based on SpringBoot. But what is your current position? JEE. We are at JDBC, servlets and JSP. So with this, can you develop a project with this in the company? No. People are not going to accept it because it is outdated concept. People moved from JW to Spring. From the Spring, already they moved to SpringBoot. Now, we need to learn this SpringBoot in order to develop the project. Sir, SpringBoot, we can write less lines of code with the SpringBoot now. Directly, can I learn the SpringBoot? No. If you want to learn the SpringBoot, what is required? Spring is required. If you want to learn the Spring, what is required? JWE. To learn the JWE, Java language is required. Language will provide the fundamentals to develop the project. By using that language, they developed a technology. By using technology, they developed a framework. Now, by using frameworks, we will develop the projects because common logics will be provided by the framework. We need to focus only on the business logic development. Are you guys clear with my point? Yes. What is programming language? What is programming technology? And what is a framework? Can you tell me now? Programming language contains set of syntaxes, set of rules will be available to communicate with the computer. By using programming language, what we can do? Standalone application we can develop. If I want to develop a web application, then I need to go for technology. Technology is also developed by using programming language only. I can develop web application with JWE technology. What is the problem? What is the problem? We need to write common logics and we need to write business logics. So a lot of duplicate code we need to write in the project. It will take more time to develop the project, more lines of code, more exceptions. Maintenance will become difficult. Then to avoid those problems, what we need to do now? We need to use frameworks. There are so many frameworks available in the market. Framework nothing but semi-developed software. What is the benefit with the framework? Common logics they will provide. You work on only business logic. Very clear difference I have shown you in the DAO. If you write the DAO with the JDBC, 100 lines of code to perform 3 operations. If I use a framework, 1 line of code. That is the difference. So with the framework, no duplicate code, less number of lines of code, easy maintenance, less exceptions, development will be faster. A project can be developed quickly by using frameworks. That's why in the industry, companies are using frameworks to develop a project. Now tell me, if you go for an interview without framework in the resume, will they accept it? No. Why? Why they don't accept it? Is there any use with a candidate who don't know a framework? No. So that is the reason learning frameworks is very, very important if you want to get the job either as a fresher or as a experienced. Freshers also should work with the frameworks. Experienced people also should work with the framework. So that is the reason yesterday I told you. This is SpringBoot microservice is mandatory for freshers also. Without having this knowledge, without having the SpringBoot microservice in your resume, getting the interview call is very difficult. Even if you get the call, without asking the questions on the framework, your interview will not be completed. So don't think that I'm a fresher, I don't need SpringBoot. It's mandatory to get the job. Are you clear? Good. So with this, we understood just what is technology, what are the challenges with the technologies, what is framework, what are the advantages with the framework. So in the Monday session, tomorrow no class. So in the Monday's class, we are going to start with introduction for the Spring. Today we understood what is framework. Now we need to understand what is the Spring framework, what advantages are there with the Spring framework, how to develop a project by using Spring framework, we are going to discuss. Are you clear? Now, so anyone who is attending the class for first time, so I told you multiple times, join in the group. I will share the video as well as notes also. WhatsApp group link I have given in the chat box. You will get the class notes and class video in that WhatsApp group. Anybody is not part of that, please join. First, offline students. Any question? Anyone? Anybody having any questions? No? So Sunday, tomorrow there is no session. We have next session on Monday. Okay, good. Thank you guys. Online people, anyone having questions? you can raise your hand so that you can ask your questions.